Kill everybody! I'm the champ! I'm the king! Kill everyone! Ah!
They don't want to fight him. And honestly, who would? You can see it in their eyes. The hesitation, the fear. Because Khamzat Chimaev isn't here just to win. He's here to break you. With 14 wins, 6 knockouts, 6 submissions, Chimaev is the kind of fighter who can end you anywhere, anytime. On the feet, on the mat, he doesn't care. He's not just beating his opponents, he's destroying them, drowning them, making it look effortless. Worse, he makes it look inevitable. Chimaev's presence in the octagon isn't just intimidating, it's a warning. Step in the cage with him, and you're not just fighting a man, you're fighting your worst nightmare. Right now, no one is safe. Not in the middleweight division, not anywhere in the UFC. This man is a nightmare matchup for everyone, and he's coming for whoever's next. Oh, and don't forget, he's also a 3-time Swedish national wrestling champion. As of October 29th, 2024, he's ranked number 3 in the UFC middleweight rankings, and he's not slowing down. But the journey that shaped him? Built from struggle, forged in toughness. Born May 1st, 1994 in Gvardeyskoye, Chechnya, Russia, Khamzat stepped on the wrestling mats when he was just 5 years old. By his teens, he'd already taken bronze at the Russian National Junior Championships. At 18 years old, in 2013, he left Russia for Sweden, moving with his mother to reunite with his older brother. But despite living there for years, Chimaev never switched nationalities. He kept his Russian citizenship. Then, in 2023, he made another big move, this time to the UAE. Before Khamzat Chimaev became the UFC's most feared rising star, he was already building a terrifying reputation in combat sports. This wasn't just a fighter on the rise. This was a man on a mission to dominate every arena he stepped into. When Chimaev moved to Sweden, he didn't waste a second. Training at clubs like BK Athene, he quickly made his mark. And not just as a good wrestler, but as one of the absolute best freestyle wrestlers in the entire country. In 2016 and 2017, he grabbed gold at the Swedish Freestyle National Championships at 86 kilograms. Then, in 2018, he moved up to 92 kilograms and won again. But it wasn't just about winning, it was how he won. Listen to this. Chimaev went 12-0 in the tournament. 3 pins, 7 technical falls. He racked up a mind-blowing 105 points while only giving up 2. This wasn't competition. It was domination. Nobody could touch him. Then came November 19th, 2021. A freestyle wrestling match against UFC contender Jack Hermansson at Bulldog Fight Night 9. Many thought Hermansson could test him, but Chimaev, he beat him on points. Even outside the octagon, Chimaev proves over and over. He's a problem nobody wants. Every scary fighter has an origin story. And for Khamzat Chimaev, it didn't start in the cage. It started late. But it didn't take long for people to realize, this guy's different. Chimaev first started training in MMA when he was 23 years old. But he wasn't just training anywhere. He was grinding at the legendary All Stars Training Center in Stockholm, surrounded by killers like Alexander Gustafsson, Ilir Latifi, and Reza Madadi. And Gustafsson, he wasn't shy about giving Chimaev his props. At a press conference in June 2019, he told a Swedish reporter, "Chimaev is one of the best fighters I've ever trained with." Coming from a 3-time UFC title challenger, that's serious respect. But what sparked Khamzat's fire to fight? Believe it or not, it wasn't some childhood dream. It was a random night at work. Between September 2017 and April 2018, Chimaev stepped into the cage 3 times as an amateur and smashed every opponent. His debut? A 2nd-round submission win over future IMMAF world champion Khalid Lalam. He wrapped up his amateur run at 3-0. No hesitation, no mercy, just domination. Chimaev turned professional on May 26, 2018 at International Ring Fight Arena 14, facing guard Olver Sagan. He finished the fight with a 2nd-round TKO. Then on August 18, 2018, he fought Ole Magner at Fight Club Rush 3, choking him out with a rear-naked choke late in the 1st round. When Khamzat arrived, nobody was ready for the storm. Chimaev made his UFC debut on July 16, 2020, stepping in at middleweight against John Phillips. And from the opening bell, it wasn't a fight, it was a beatdown. Chimaev dominated Phillips, taking him down and choking him out in the 2nd round. That performance? It earned him Performance of the Night honors. But Chimaev wasn't done making history. Just 10 days later, he dropped to welterweight and faced Rhys McKee at UFC on ESPN 14. Once again, pure dominance. First round TKO, another performance of the night. And just like that, Chimaev broke a UFC record for the fastest back-to-back wins in modern history, 10 days apart. Then came Gerald Meerschaert on September 19, 2020. Chimaev needed just 17 seconds to knock him out cold. Another performance bonus, another record, fastest 3-fight winning streak in modern UFC history, 66 days. He was scheduled to fight Leon Edwards next, set to headline UFC Fight Night 183 in December. And after just 3 UFC fights, he was already ranked number 15 at welterweight. But then, COVID hit. Chimaev tested positive. Then Edwards tested positive. The fight kept getting postponed. Chimaev even announced he was retiring in March 2021, frustrated with lingering lung issues. But UFC President Dana White reassured fans, he's emotional, he's not retiring. He didn't just win, he played with him. When Chimaev finally returned, he faced Li Jingliang, a top contender, but it wasn't close. Chimaev picked Li up, carried him across the cage, talked to Dana White mid-fight, then slammed and choked him unconscious. First round, another performance of the night. At UFC 273, Chimaev fought Gilbert Burns, and this time, it wasn't a quick finish. It was a 3-round war. Burns pushed Chimaev harder than anyone ever had. But in the end, Chimaev won by unanimous decision. He earned Fight of the Night and topped the Crypto.com fan bonus of the night. Chimaev was set to headline UFC 279 against Nate Diaz. But at weigh-ins, Chimaev came in 7.5 pounds over. The fight was scrapped. Instead, he fought Kevin Holland at a catchweight. No problem. Chimaev dominated again, winning via Das choke in round 1. After a year away, Chimaev moved back to middleweight at UFC 294. Originally set to face Paulo Costa, plans changed after Costa's surgery. Chimaev ended up facing Kamaru Usman instead. It was a tough fight, but Chimaev won by majority decision. Finally, Chimaev faced Robert Whittaker at UFC 308. And in the first round, Chimaev locked in a brutal face crank submission, dislocating Whittaker's jaw and forcing a tap. Another performance of the night, another terrifying moment added to the highlight reel. The friendships outside the cage raise as many questions as his dominance inside it. Beyond the octagon, Chimaev's connection with Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov has sparked controversy. Kadyrov gifted Chimaev a Mercedes-Benz, which Chimaev later crashed. Kadyrov also reportedly convinced him not to retire in 2021, flying him back to Chechnya. Chimaev has appeared in multiple photos with Kadyrov, sparred with him, and even started training Kadyrov's sons. He cornered Ali's debut at ACA 150, traveled with them to UFC 280, and even took them to Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand. In 2022, Chimaev faced criticism for standing alongside Kadyrov during a live stream where Kadyrov threatened a teenage critic. Chechen dissidents continue to criticize Chimaev's close ties to Kadyrov's regime. Chimaev got married on May 21, 2022, in Chechnya, with Kadyrov in attendance. Khamzat Chimaev isn't slowing down, and whether you love him or fear him, one thing's for sure, he's coming for everyone. But what do you think? Can anyone stop him? Or are we watching the rise of an unstoppable champion? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.